when you're adding a post, we want to keep the following things in mind. We want to choose a category, because if we don't, it'll go to the default category. And depending upon what your website is, we choose the default category as the category that we feel like you will post to the most. So our default category is resources, because that is the category that we post to the most. If you're going to do a whole bunch of stuff in for news, and it might be your default one, but if you don't choose anything, it's probably not going to show up where you thought it was going to show up. So choose a category. Also note that you can schedule things to release in the future. And this is so handy because you can make your site appear regularly updated. And so if you are going to be entering testimonials into your site and you've got 50 to put in right now, maybe you should put them in and schedule them each a week apart, and then Google will think, look at this, they have updated their website once a week for the last 50 weeks. Isn't that great? And it builds credibility with Google, and it shows them that you are an active website manager, and Google really likes that. So if you're concerned about showing up higher in search engine rankings, which it seems like everybody is, then this is one thing that you can do to make Google think you're awesome. And another thing, though, is that you can also make the people who are visiting your site think you're awesome, because it doesn't say that the last time that you posted a news update or an award was in 2011. Because that's always a little disconcerting. You're like, is this company even open anymore? I don't know. So just keeping those things in mind, you can schedule stuff. Also, there's the opportunity to add a read more link, and you can't do that on a page. There's no read more links. So I'm going to go back out, and I'm going to show you where this screenshot is taken from. So if I want to add a new post, I'm going to click the Add New button. Add New. And then I get all my editing features and action panels for this page. And that screenshot that we're going to look at and examine is this corner right up here. Why did I take a screenshot of just the corner of your screen? It's because there are some very, very important things going on in the corner of your screen. There are these two tabs up at the top, Visual versus HTML. And the Visual tab is closer to the What You See is What You Get editor, and HTML is not what you see is what you get. It's what us coders look at whenever we're putting your website together. So if you get into the page and it looks like a bunch of gobbledygook, it's probably because we were in there when we were doing some really fancy stuff. And so you can just click on Visual and it will pop back to normal. There's this other button called the kitchen sink, and the kitchen sink will hide and display your tools. So if your tools are hidden, click the kitchen sink. Preview changes is a very nice button. It allows you to see what you're working on without having to save it and allow the public to see it. Very good whenever you're working on live pages. You can change things from published to draft. You can do this on pages or you can do this on posts. It's your decision. So let's say that there was a news article that you published that is no longer relevant and you don't want people to see it, or maybe you're getting a bunch of press on it that you did not anticipate, that you don't like. So just take it down, change it to draft. The other thing that we use draft a lot for around here is if we have events that happen every year, and so instead of deleting them out of the database, we just change them to draft, and then the next year when we need them again, we just change them back to published and change the data on them. So one of my other favorite things about this program, and I really wish that Microsoft Word would instate this, and I hope that Microsoft watches this video on YouTube so they can listen to me, is the revisions, because it tracks every time that you revise something. So you can go back to however many times ago and pull it back up if you need to. It also auto-saves, which is really similar to what Microsoft Word does. And just because it auto-saves, that doesn't mean that it's going to publish it out. It just means that it's auto-saved. So that means that it's in the database and you can retrieve the information, but the public can't see it. So if by chance you are called away You might be working from home and your kid decides that it needs an ice cream cone and is screaming about it, and so you run after and get the ice cream cone, and then you're like, whoa, my computer just went to sleep and it turned itself off. It's okay, because everything that you've been working on is still in autosave, and when you log back in, it'll give you a nice big red bar at the top, and it'll be like, whoa, look, you didn't save this page. Did you mean to? Let's look at this newer version, and then you can instate the newer version. So autosave is nifty. And if by some chance you are editing your page and you go out to look at it on the public and you realize that you have broken it to the point of no return, it is okay, because you can go back into your revisions and you can restore it back to where it has its formatting again, and then you can edit it and make it right, step by step, saving and checking, saving and checking. This is a test post because they're in training. If you're going to have a lot of people working on your website, it's not a bad idea to decide how you're going to format your titles. Will you have a capital letter at the front? Will you capitalize each letter? Will you have a period at the end? All these things make you look more professional whenever you are in front of your viewers. And then I'm going to put a little bit of text in here. I'm going to say, if you got here, you may want to go somewhere else, because we're not really doing anything but like. So I just put my cursor in and I type. Very exciting. And then I choose a category. So I determine where this is going to be displayed within my site. And I want to put this in the resources category, so that way we can play with it later. And this is really the first little things about adding a post. If I want to change the URL, I can change it right here. Maybe I want to make it shorter. Okay, I can shorten it. It's kind of nice. So I'm going to click Publish, which is the blue button. And then I can view the post in a variety of ways. There's all these View Post buttons here, so I can click View Post, I can click View Post up here, I can click View Post up here. It doesn't matter which one you click on, all of them are right. I like to hold down the Control key and then click it, so that way it opens in a new window. And then this is my post. It's not very exciting right now. I think we should beef it up and make it more fun.